Good or bad, this is what I got. I got some Eastwood primer, some a spray station Airlex 5500. Bought this guy about 8, maybe 10 years ago. Just proving the fact that you don't need a compressor, even though I have a 60-gallon compressor dual stage and plenty of spray guns. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to spray this primer on the ye old fender here, bumper, and finish it up. It's been already done up with self-etching primer. Got to clean it up with the wax cleaner, wax remover, and grease, and we'll move on to that. And we'll spray it. I like the Airlex because it actually is very, very, very low on overspray. Yeah, I know people don't like using epoxy over the self-etch. I like it. It works for me. I have this can of epoxy from Eastwood, and I like using these tops from skygeek.com for mixing them up. You don't always need a compressor. You can get away with that tool right there. Harbor Freight sells an equivalent tool like that for around $180, $200. You can spray the whole thing. See it, very little overspray. Wastes no material almost. Okay, there's the last couple of coats I put on there. I gotta let it dry and gas out. Then I'll put the urethane high build on it. One thing about these guns, okay, I see a lot of guys, old timers, that soak the gun, leave the gun with lacquer thinner or acetone, and eventually it destroys the gun. I don't care if it's this gun, I don't care if it's a gravity feed gun, I don't care if it's a $1,000 gun, I don't care if it's a $60 gun. Clean the gun immediately after you're done with the job. I'm going to have to wait a little while for this to dry, so I clean the gun and I put it off to the side until I'm ready for the urethane. Because I want the gun to work. This gun's 8 or 10 years old and still works just like a brand new gun. That's the investment. It's a $200 investment that's going to last me, what, 20 years, 30 years, until the day I die maybe? But not if I soak it in solvent. After you use phosphoric acid, it leaves sometimes a black film. And you can see the streaks, white, kind of a white pasty kind of a powder. 80 grit. Over the whole thing, as you can see. And after it's all done, I get it down nice and smooth again. We'll do the self-etching primer on it this time. Now I've masked it off. I've cleaned it with some wax and grease remover. Usually I use 5-star, or I'll use the other one, Prep something. I can't remember right now. But I've taken it and did the mask on it, so I don't have to, paint the other side completely. The other side's already got jade green on it. Don't want to ruin that. So now what I can do is mix up the primer, the black etching primer, and then I'll put a coat of epoxy on top of that, and then the rest will be the urethane, high build urethane. And then that way it seals the self-etch and it doesn't give it a problem. It won't be a problem putting any kind of filler if I need to fill any little dimples or sink marks or whatever. after overnight letting the etch primer dry out and gas out, we're going to put some epoxy primer on it. Before that, we take the red Scotch Brite and we sand her down with that red Scotch Brite, and we clean it up with wax and grease remover. Usually I use Prep-All, but sometimes I don't have Prep-All, and I got some Maxol from Trinity paintsforcars.com, not a sponsor, but hey, good stuff at pretty good price, so it's not bad. And you can see the dents and stuff around it. If you look carefully, there's some dents and stuff on it. That's why I'm putting the epoxy, because you can't really put filler on top of self-etching because of the freaking acid. So you have to have an intercoat to do that. And that's what I'm using the epoxy for. And again, the thing is, you got to take your time. Don't, oh, it's 30 minutes, I can throw another coat on top. Sometimes when you do that, you get solvent pop, you get all kinds of reactions. Better off waiting 8 hours, maybe the next day. No more than 5 days for the epoxy when the urethane surfacer goes on. So you can't have more than 5 days or you have to sand the epoxy. And we all know how sanding epoxy sucks. So, no, I'm not doing that. Using 3M's gun cleaner available at Harbor Freight. This applies to all air-powered guns, spray guns. Take a little bit, get used to the nozzle, you can spray it in easy. Just taper it in there. As you can hear the fan's blowing the opposite way, giving you some good cross ventilation. Fill that up with the cleaner. And here's the first stage of air. Okay, you can hear the air. I'll raise it up so you can hear it better. Or lower that to almost nothing. Okay, cover the tip with your finger. And you can see the bubbles coming out. Of course, be careful with your eyes. Wear some eye protection. That's reverse flushing the gun. Lower it a little more. Keeps the gun clean between sprays. Here's a tip in order to save you on materials. The cups that I've been using. This cup, I take it, right now I took the filter out of there because I'm going to be spraying that high build and I don't need the filter for it. Take some lacquer thinner or acetone, whatever you have, pour it in there. Use a little stopper, shake them up. See? That cleans out the damn cup real nice. As you can see, you can reuse it for something else. I've used this to spray the self-etching. I use it to spray the epoxy. Okay? Wipe it out with a paper towel. It's ready to go to spray again. I use this about 3 to 4 times and I throw them away. That'll save me a couple bucks. Alright, after about 4 hours of flash time, it's pretty dry. It's 90 degrees in here, so it works pretty good. It's going to get 4 coats of the high build urethane primer in buff color. That 4 coats seems like a lot, but a lot of it's going to get sanded off as I go and try to get it straight, because that whole top's got a lot of dents and stuff in it. It's going to take some time to get it straight. Okay, after 4 coats of the high build urethane, this is what you get. This is going to be my foundation for putting my primers down, getting it all nice and straight. There's plenty of little dents and dings in there that you can't see kinda because it's hard to see, but once you wet it with a little prep ball, it's easy. It comes right out. You can see it, no problem. Same thing with the bumper. The bumper's in the same sort of urethane high build primer. Gonna take some filling to get it all nice and straight, then another primer, and then we'll go to color. So the next time you see these guys, they'll be hanging, getting painted. That one will be the trunk will get jade green metallic, and the bumper will get hot rod black satin. Always keep your guns clean. This guy's how old, and it works just like a brand new gun. That's what you do. Thanks for watching.